This is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. So many XRP millionaires are about to be minted. You know that's about to happen, right? As far as I'm concerned, that is a virtual certainty. And actually, frankly, it's already happened. I mean, it happened very obviously in the 2017 bull run. There were plenty of people that were buying XRP around half a penny, sold it obviously way higher because it peaked at $3.35. But even last cycle, there were people undoubtedly, even if it was a smaller percentage, because we were expecting, to not get attacked by the United States government suppressing the price of XRP. But even then, I mean, considering that XRP bottomed around 10 cents, and even last cycle, think about that. This is actually wild. XRP had a 20-fold increase in price while it was under attack from the United States government. So you know that would be enough for some people. And even this cycle, you know it already for sure has happened to some. XRP bottomed at 28 cents, and it hit a new all-time high already at $3.40. You know that made some people XRP millionaires. But it's not done. I think by the time this thing's done, it's it's going to be completely outrageous. And so I want to share with you some of the latest facts and figures here, which I like to pull up from time to time. And a few of these metrics I'm going to share with you in this video. I haven't highlighted in a little bit, but it's worth providing a little bit of update here. But, oh man, this is going to get fun. This is going to get really fun. And then, the market's going to peak and we're going to crash 80%, and a lot of people are going to cry. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, so I came across this post. It was shared by chart analyst Zoom. And he wrote, for the first time in the history of the XRP ledger, there are almost 2,000 wallets holding between 1 million and 5 million XRP. That's massive. And so for the accounts that actually have that much, and I know that that's a bit more rare, obviously, very obviously, and we know because the XRP blockchain is public, so we can see this data, but still, very cool to see that. I mean, I want to share in everybody's success and just be able to be here and congratulate all of you, because there's so many of you that have been fighting for this and believed in this for years and years. And I'm right there with you. I've been in the trenches with you. I'm the same here. But it's nice to see people in our community, after everything that we've been through, having success. And so I'm happy. Even if I sell my XRP at lower prices than a lot of you listening, I will be congratulating you for doing a fantastic job selling at higher prices than me. And of course, there's risk because you don't know for sure where the market's going to peak. So, trade-offs. But still, 2,000 accounts. And that data was shared by the XP market account on X here. Simply wrote there are currently almost 2,000 accounts holding between 1 million and 5,000 XRP. That is really something. But, take a look at this, though. And this is the XRP rich list. I'm sure many of you have seen this before. Fun website. You can see where you rank amongst your fellow XRP holders here. But it's just wild to see now. We have a total of 6.58 million XRP accounts. That's how many wallets there are. And in 2017, when I jumped into the XRP community, and I was brand new to crypto, there were fewer than 700,000 accounts. And so to see this consistent increase here, it's just so obvious. XRP is an early winner in the crypto space. I was right. You were right. We've made it. And here we are. And so I was thinking about how many people... so obviously, like I said, I believe that it's very obvious. There are a number of people that have already become XRP millionaires just from that first pump for XRP. But historically, the second pump in the market cycle, which we're still waiting on, that's the one that's most impressive in terms of dollars. So, I understand that most people aren't going to have some of these bigger figures. So even if you have, and I know some of you do have this or more, even 50,000 XRP, that's pretty rare actually these days. Now, given that this is an XRP-centric channel, I know, again, like I said, a lot of you have been accumulating for years and years. I'm willing to bet that there's a good number in the crowd that have that, or even way more than that. But this is why I was looking at the figures, and I was just like, this is going to change so many people's lives. Because what if some of the analysts that are calling for $20 XRP are right? Well, look at this. There are 27,263 accounts that have between 50,000 and 75,000 XRP. So even at the lower end there, 50,000. If you have 50,000 XRP and XRP goes to $20, you have $1 million. Like this is the type of stuff that really does happen in crypto. So I'm not making a price prediction. I admit, like, I don't know for sure where XRP is going to peak. I'm just optimistic it's going to go way higher just in a general sense this cycle. But you can see like why it's just like, this is a real, like, you can see why so many people in the community are so pumped for this. And, you know, even if you have less than 50,000 XRP, because again, obviously that's increasingly hard to come by. I just know that, again, like I said, a lot of people listening now, I'm sure, have that or more. Like, even if you have a bit less than that, it's just neat to think, like, even if we really do this cycle hit some of those higher targets, which I'm not sure if we will, but I will say, and I'm more conservative, but even I will acknowledge it's possible. Like, it's just going to result in a ridiculous number of people achieving life-changing wealth. There's going to be so many freaking XRP millionaires. It's going to be ridiculous. Lambo season, my friends. It's all good things in time. And the ledger, obviously, it's only picking up here in terms of adoption. I came across this post from chart analyst Ali Martinez. This is from a few days ago, but he said, XRP active addresses reached 1.12 million last week. Whew. It's just kind of staggering. Like, some of these numbers, almost unfathomable years and years ago. But here we are. Despite the attack from the SEC, we made it through it. XRP Ledger's thriving. In fact, take a look at the number of new accounts here. I haven't highlighted this on the channel in a while, so I want to check it. I like to check this from time to time. It's just kind of fun to see. And we really do seem to just have a new norm in terms of the number of new accounts being created on any given day. There are about 4,000 new accounts being created. Could be a little less, could be a little bit more, but that just seems to be the norm, and it has been for months now. About 4,000 new accounts. Go back a year ago, maybe close to 1,000 new accounts on any given day. Mostly a little bit lower. You could probably find some days where it's a little higher, but mostly a little bit below 1,000. So think about that. From one year to the next, it became the norm to have 4 times as many new accounts coming in. And you know what else is wild about that? This is happening, and that's the new norm. It's been sustained for months now as XRP is consolidating. That is happening while almost nobody's paying attention. What I mean by that is the retail side that comes in, buying market tops, which happens every single market cycle, they're not paying attention. And you can see, because this is Google Trends here, and almost nobody's searching for XRP. Look at how low it is. And it's not because there's something wrong with XRP. It's just that we're not in the euphoria part of the market. But just wait till we get there, because you can see how high this spiked in December. Look at this. November and December. Look at that. Just rocketed. Well, wait till we have the second leg up of this thing. Everybody's going to be searching for XRP. It's going to get completely ridiculous. So again, I'm just highlighting XRP consolidating above $2 for pretty much all of this year. That's amazing to see. While we're not in euphoria, it's clearly not overbought. And this is just like the norm now. Like, the norm is just like XRP is $2. The norm is 4,000 new accounts a day. Right, But wait till this second pump comes in. This whole market's going to go just completely ballistic. That's my expectation here. And so take a look at this post from chart analyst XR Punky. He says, over the last 200 days that XRP was going sideways, it has literally stayed over $2. This shows immense strength, and it's ready to blast off. This is a final call if you haven't filled up your bags. $2 will be a thing of the past. Get effing ready. Yeah, that's exactly right. And that's why I'll say, like I say, even if you're new to XRP and you are buying at these prices that are now just kind of the norm, whether you're buying around $2, $3, maybe you're a little bit lower around $1.50. If you're anywhere in there, and this is just kind of like, this is real life. This is new life for XRP now. I'm sure that many of you may be feeling, I wish I'd just jumped in or known about this a little bit sooner, when it was half a year sooner. XRP is 49 cents. I gotta tell you, like, don't beat yourself up over that if you're one of those people, because I'm telling you, a decade from now, people are gonna be like, you bought XRP as cheap as $2? That's what it's gonna look like, right? I mean, it's the same for me. Like, when I first bought XRP, the first price I think I ever paid was, I believe it was 21 cents. And so now you could look at that and be like, you got it for 21 cents. Well, yeah, but I was buying it at like a new level that was really high, and everybody else that was hanging around then had been there for like years and years, and a lot of them, like, I just kept running into like endless numbers of people that were buying it at half a penny. So, but the point is, if we're right and it just keeps getting, crypto pie just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and XRP continues to just be a winner, which in my mind, it's a no-brainer. Well, yeah, you fast forward it. Can you imagine another decade? Maybe get another couple cycles after this it's going to be wild. It's going to be completely buck wild. Here's a post from chart analyst Bobby A. He says, XRP, there is beauty in simplicity and symmetry. And he's got this XRP price chart going back over a decade. You can see what he's highlighting here. Look at 2017. This is something that I point out all the time. First big pump, consolidate, half a year, second big pump. Same thing here. We've only had the first big pump. Moving sideways, we're going to have that second pump. My conviction could not possibly be higher. We're going to have it. We just got to wait. Like, we have not hit the cycle peak. And there's so many ways that you can slice and dice the market to come to that conclusion. It's not over. Chart analyst Greg Crypto certainly agrees. Here's an XRP USD price chart. And here he wrote, back in 2017, it took just 6 candles before the final leg launched. So he's pointing out the same thing that I highlight and many other people highlight all the time. Here you can see the first leg up in 2017, 6 candles here, and these are monthly candles, and then rocketed, right? And so what about now? Well, it doesn't have to be 6 candles. It can be, a little bit different here, as he recognizes. But history's going to roughly rhyme with itself. That's my expectation. And so Greg Crypto then wrote, currently XRP is consolidated over 7 candles, and there's still room for 1 more candle, making it 8 candles in total. After that, get ready for the kaboom phase. Whether it rises or falls, it's going to be explosive. Yeah, well, I believe it's going to go to the upside. But, he references his target zone too in this post, and look at what he's talking about. Like, again, I do not know if we're actually going to hit that. Not crazy. This could happen. He's talking about $22 XRP and this higher line here, $27 XRP, this market cycle. And that could happen in the coming weeks, for all I know. Like, they're analysts, and actually Greg Crypto thinks that it's plausible that we could see double-digit price action in July. And I've shared that on my channel before. He wrote a post where he was explicitly stating that. And he's not the only one that thinks that. And there's historic precedent for that. So, yeah, I don't know if it will happen, but yes. That's why it's so exciting. This is the most exciting time there's ever been, as far as I'm concerned, to be an XRP holder, because you're living in this moment where any day could wake up and it is just going. So we'll see. Here's a post from chart analyst Dark Defender. XRP is about to remove the tension soon. The price is so close to the conjunction of the trend lines, the Fibonacci level, and the cup surface. Exponential moving averages are tight, and the trend line is squeezed. Targets at $2.22 and $3.61 short term, and support at $2.07. He says, get ready for the decision. So another analyst who believes something's going to be happening here in the short term. Here's a post from the great Matsby, and he posted this morning. He said, XRP is still riding the .0236 fib channel as support. Using history as our guide, from my post below, it could be almost time for takeoff. So more I keep seeing this from analysts, and it is true. Some analysts think that the next thing that happens is we do sweep those lows. I talked about that extensively in a video, my very last video. I've been talking about it a lot recently, because there are still warnings that I'm seeing from some analysts thinking what's most probable is, you go back below $2. Talked about that quite a bit. But even if so, it doesn't put us into a bear market. That's not what that does. It just sets you up perfectly for that final blast off to the upside. And here's this post that he was referencing. This is the great Matsby from May 31st. He said, this Fibonacci channel clearly shows that XRP has a history of using the lower zone of the fib channel as support before breaking out to the upside. The same pattern appears to be forming now. So I'd say some well-placed conviction here from tons of different chart analysts. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.